Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you all to a very special new League of Legends video. So the reworked Yorick has finally been announced. I mean, it's been so long ever since this champion has been not only announced that he's getting a rework, but so long that he's just simply needed one. Overall, his new thematic is very cool. He's still the Gravedigger, he still works around summoning units, but it has been taken to another level. He has abilities that don't really interact with summoning units, so he can kind of fight for himself in a way, and overall, I think his ultimate, which we're going to see very soon, is absolutely fantastic. All in all, he's still a top laner who's going to be probably a pretty strong split pusher, but without any further ado, let's get right into his abilities. So his passive is what his whole kit will essentially revolve around. Yorick is able to have 4 Mistwalkers active at a time, which are now the name for his ghouls. If they go too far from Yorick, they will slowly decay, or if they go too far away from the Maiden of the Mist, which is his ultimate. Whenever enemy minions or neutral monsters die, they have a chance to spawn a grave, but when an enemy champion dies around Yorick, it will 100% spawn a grave. But I'm sure you're wondering what the hell these graves are even used for, so let's go right into his Q, which is what interacts with his passive even further. Alright, moving along to Yorick's Q. This is his main ability when it comes to interacting with his passive. First of all, his next basic auto attack will just simply deal bonus damage and also restore a bit of HP. If his Q were to kill a target, it will spawn a grave, and if there are at least 3 nearby graves and Yorick's Q last rites is on cooldown, then he can use the awakening portion of his Q and spawn Mistwakers from all the nearby graves. So this kind of makes it feel like, yeah, he kind of relies on being in a very specific area most of the time, again, to consistently keep spawning graves and to obviously be nearby them to actually use the second part of his Q to summon the ghouls. So very kind of split push oriented. Yorick's W ability is a very simple one. He summons a destructible wall of corpses to enclose an area for a few seconds. Now notice how I said destructible, so yes, enemy champions stuck within can destroy the wall and be released early. All in all, this is just the best way for the person to stand in one spot while all of Yorick's ghouls jump on them, and especially his ultimate, which we're gonna get into very soon. Moving along to Yorick's E ability, yet another somewhat simple one, especially in terms of animation, but very important to his overall kit and actually just getting to his target and dealing damage. It simply applies a mist in a cone in front of him that deals magic damage, applies a slow, and marks a target. Yorick and his Mistwalkers will get an extra movement speed bonus when heading towards the marked targets. Again, like you saw them leap, this overall just helps them get to the target much easier, especially when combined with his W. And last but definitely not least, we have Yorick's ultimate, which I think is absolutely fantastic. He summons the Maiden of the Mist, which is that creature you see on your screen right now, and at higher ranks, she will also bring in some Mistwalkers. Now, it does not seem like Yorick has any control over this creature, and she just kind of goes on by herself and just follows the minion path, but she will attack whatever she sees in front of her. But if Yorick were to attack the same target that she is, he will be dealing bonus magic damage based on the enemy's maximum HP. So this is very strong when it comes to split pushing, because imagine if you have your graves ready to go, you trap them in your W, use your Q, the ghouls spawn, eat the target while they're trapped in your W because it's easy to hit, the ghouls jump on them, and your ultimate is also whacking away the whole time. I mean, that's a lot of damage, that's going to be very strong split pushing, and I'm sure she can attack towers as well, so very strong ability. But either way, guys, that is about it for this video. I mean, there you have it. The new Yorick has finally been released and announced. We know all of the abilities, they look really cool. At least a lot better than the current Yorick. And I still feel like that ultimate is going to have an insane amount of pressure whenever this guy is split pushing. So obviously being played most likely as a top laner. But either way, guys, that is it for this video. If you did enjoy it and are excited for the Yorick update and the release, hit that like button to show some love. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll have some gameplay up from the PBE very soon, so stay tuned for that. See you soon. Peace.